Miniature Market has thousands of board games at discounted prices. Click the direct link below to see all of those discounted games. Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Today we're going to the Seaside with the waves coming in on the sand, and we're going to be seeing different animals like the crabs and sandpipers. We're also going to be obviously being at the beach. Today we're taking a look at Seaside. This is a sort of casual game that you can actually play on the beach, but you don't have to. Let me show you how it's played. I'll see you at my side. In Seaside, you're trying to score the most points. Now, there are these nice wooden bits that are double-sided, and they go into a really nice bag that you're going to be drawing tiles from. This is a nice canvas bag here that has a drawstring. You can tighten it up, which means you could get rid of the box if you want to. And so, you're going to be drawing, on your turn, you're going to draw one of these tokens from the bag, and it's double-sided. You'll be able to look at either side and then decide what to do with it. Now, generally speaking, there's 3 things that will go in the sea. And you know that because the bottom of it is blue, they go in the water. And then there are 4 types of things that go in the sand, or essentially your seaside. And they're going to be going front. So anything that's blue, if it goes out on the board, it's going to go in the middle of the table. Basically, it's pretty much going to be anyone's going to be able to go get those depending on certain things. And if they're sand, they're going to go in front of the players. So that's pretty much what you're trying to do. Draw a token, look at both sides, and then decide what to do. So for example, let's say it's our turn, we draw from the bag, and we will look at the token. We have this on one side and this on the other side. Well, they're both gonna go in the sea, because this is a sea crab and this is a seashell. Again, because it's blue, you put it here. Then you do the ability of that. So here it is, take another turn. Anytime you put anything in the middle in the sea, you're gonna take another turn. So we draw another one. Let's say we have the option of this, or we have the option of this. So again, if it's white, it's gonna go in front of us. If it's blue, it's going to go in the sea. So let's say that we put this in the middle, and we're going to be able to take another turn. Now let's say we draw another one. We can either place the seashell in the sea, or we could place the crab with the rocks in my seaside. Well, just to show you what all 3 things do here, well, all 3 that go in the sea, I would take another turn. So let's say we took another turn, and we have seashell or bug. Well, I'll leave it there and take another turn. So that's, sometimes you're seeding the middle. You won't do it as often as I just showed you, but that's all of the sea. So now let's start focusing on the sand abilities, or the seaside abilities. So let's say we got this, and it has this on one side, this on the other side. Well, let's just say this is in front of us. This is in the middle of the table. That's the sea. This is my seaside where the sand is. I'm gonna play the beach here. Now what this beach tells me is I'm gonna be able to take seashells. Now I'll be able to take 1 seashell for every beach that's in front of me. So in this case, I would be able to do this. But let's say on a future turn, because that would be the end of my turn, I got a second beach. Now I can take up to as many seashells that's out there for how many beaches I have. I have 2. I could take both of these, and we'd sort of stack those like this. So the more beaches you have, the more seashells you can take at once. So that's sort of how the beaches work. Now let's say it's our turn, and we play a sandpiper, little bird here. He wants to eat bugs. Now in this case, I can take the bugs that are here. Now I could take them all, because it's my first bird. So if I took both of these bugs, I would actually stack them underneath that bird. Now let's say later on I play another bird, and then I can take bugs. Now again, here's where this differs. Now I could take up as many bugs as I want from here. If there was only one of them there and I were to take this, you probably wouldn't want to do that, because if this stack is smaller than the stack you already have, it just gets discarded. So once you've set your first stack, that's going to give you some decisions as to what you're going to do with the future stack. Now, if I were to take one that was 2 bugs that was there, or 3 bugs, if it's bigger than this stack, then this one would get discarded. So you don't want to do that either. What you're really trying to do is, let's say there were 3 bugs out there. I played the bird. You can take as many that are here. So in this case, I would want to take just 2 of them, because this equals the stack that I already have, and now you get to keep both of them. So once you set your stack, you're kind of setting how many you're going to try to get, and it's a little bit of pressure luck, because if you set it too small, it's going to be easier to get them, but if you set it too big, you might not be able to really double them, if you will. So that's probably the most complicated one in the game. Now let's talk about using these crabs here with rocks. So let's say it's our turn, and again, you're just doing one thing, and it's the next player's turn. Of course, if you're taking these, putting these here, you're getting in another turn. So let's say we put a rock. Once you put a rock there, if it's a single rock, it does nothing. However, if you play a pair of rocks, so now we have 2 of them, you'd stack the rocks and you'd take all the crabs from the seaside. In this case, there's just 1, but you'd also be able to take a crab from another player. So any one single player, I could take one of their crabs and put it here. So now I've got sort of stacks here. So now the next time I play a rock, again, since it's only a single rock, it does nothing. But if I get a second rock, I could do the same thing again. Now let's go over the last ability here. Let's say we put a wave in our seaside. Well, that allows us to flip any one of the beach. The beach is, has the beach with the seashell there. You can, if you want to, look at these and decide if you want to flip one of them. So if I did this, I would flip it, I would activate it here, and then I would take another turn. Now, also some of these beaches, if it was like this and I put the beach, I put this one, I go, do I want another wave? Sure, I'll do this. Do I have another beach to flip? Not right now. But what do you do with the waves? Once the bag runs out of all the tiles, the player who has the most waves gets to stack everything that was in the sea into their seaside. And at the end of the game, players will stack all of their chips in their seaside. Whoever has the tallest one is the winner. All right, what do I like about this? First of all, I like the nice chunky wooden bits. They feel nice in your hand. It's always great drawing those from the bag, great components. And because they are pretty weighty and stuff, you can actually play this game at the beach thematically, Play it in the middle while you're sitting down on the towels and have some next to you. You could actually play this game on the beach, which is pretty cool. I like that it comes in that nice travel bag, so you could either, throw the box away and just keep the bag. It's a nice, sort of heavier canvas bag. It's definitely gonna keep it nice and protected. The drawstring works well. Nice production there too. I like that you're drawing a tile and then picking either side. Do I want this or do I want this? So yes, there is luck in the game, decent amount, I'll talk about that later, but at least you get 2 choices when you draw things. And so the seaside pieces, I like that when you put those down, they're first of all, you're setting hopefully yourself up for something. Hopefully you're not putting things in there that is gonna help the next player if they draw the right tile. So you're watching what other players have. You might want to put the shell in there, but somebody else has a bunch of beaches, so you're like, maybe I shouldn't do that. They're focusing on beaches, I'm focusing on the birds. Maybe I'll not put that shell, maybe I'll take whatever's on the other side of this. But I like that seaside piece gives you successive turns. Sometimes it's fun. It's like, hey, draw this, great, I'll put a crab. Take this, great, I'll put a bug. Put this, do I want a shell? No, I'll put the bird down, I'll take this and I'll go. So you get like these little dopamine hits as you're taking turn after turn, and it's quick, so it's not too much downtime for other players. This is a light casual game that still has fun decisions. You've got some strategies. There's not a whole lot of them in the game. There's like 3 main ones, which things you're going to go after, plus shooting for the waves at the end of the game to try to get everything from the sea to come in. But it still has some fun decisions as you're watching what's happening with other players, and that's important because yes, this is sort of a solo game where you're getting things for yourself. But all your decisions really do matter what other players are doing indirectly. So what are they doing? What are they going for? I don't want to help them. I want to help them the least I can by helping myself. And I like that. You need to pay attention to what other players are doing. I like the sort of little pushing your luck aspect with the sandpipers where once you get a stack, you really want to match that stack every time. Now you can choose to take up to however many there are out there. So if you just take one early and you get that, you're going to be just doing stacks of 2 all the time, which in a larger player game, maybe that's okay because other people are working on that strategy. Maybe you won't get a whole lot, right? In a little smaller player count game, maybe you go for a bigger stack. I like that aspect of it. I like that you are, again, trying to collect waves for the end game, and sometimes many of those beaches have waves on the end, so you get a wave and you flip a beach and you get another wave. So a lot of times you know what's under those. You can always look at them. So you can be like, hey, I've got a big trigger here with 3 waves in a row that I'm going to be able to get. Other people are starting to get them because they feel like the game's going to be ending, but guess what? On one turn, I'm going to be able to flip a bunch of these and take a lead. That's kind of fun too. Overall, the game's enjoyable. If you're looking for that casual game that's family friendly, that's easy to play, that will give you some fun, this is one to look out for. Now, the thing that I didn't like as much on is the game's very lucky, right? I mean, you can plan as much as you want. You can look tactically what the best thing possibly to do is, but in the end, you're drawing one tile out of a bag and looking at one of the 2 sides, and sometimes it can create some undesirable turns where it's like, I don't want this and I don't want this. But usually there's something that's like, this one's at least better than the other one, right? So there is definitely a lot of luck involved in the game, but it's a light, casual, quick, fun, family game. The other thing is, even though the game seems pretty simple, it might be overwhelming at first. I mean, the first time you play this, every single tile there has a special ability. So you're learning 7 abilities right off the bat. And for people that play a lot of games, like gamer enthusiasts, not gonna be a big deal. you probably still will need to play like one full game through before you start go, oh, okay, this is that, this is that, this is that, this is that, and this is why I would do this is why I would do that, right? People that are just buying this game off a shelf, it might take you 2 or 3 plays to really start understanding the strategies, and that might be a little overwhelming for players that don't play a lot of games. So if you're a casual gamer, I would say stick with it because I think the payoff is worth it. If you're a gamer enthusiast, yes, there's a decent amount of abilities right off the bat. This is one of those games where you just play and you teach it as you go. So someone opens up, takes a tile, they show you what 2 sides, and you tell them, well, this means you could do this, and that means you could do this. And why would you want to do those things? This is one of those games that you just go and you teach it as it's gone. But if no one knows the game yet, that's when you can run into that little bit of trouble. But it's worth it in the end, and that is Seaside.
Game Toppers upgrades every game you play, and if you missed their 4.0 Kickstarter, you can still late pledge and take advantage of over 40 unlocked stretch goals and early fulfillment. This campaign featured a new Young Sherlock table perfect for children's gaming and movable coffee table, 10 new thematic mats by top artists like Vincent Dutray, a new designer art series Minecraft topper with thematic art from Brent Woodside, and some of the best package deals they've had, including game mat bundles. Go to GameToppersLLC.com or click the link below to late pledge now.